My question is, if you were to focus on one channel
Sure.
in order to lower CAC, and which channel would that be? And how would you go about learning that process as fast as possible?
Too vague.
Okay. Currently, I purchase leads from a third-party lead provider.
Okay.
That's my main acquisition channel.
Okay.
And so I want to move away from them and master Facebook or pay-per-click
Who's the
or
customer?
something like that. Residential solar customers.
Residential, oh, shoot. I mean, there's so many ways. I mean, that's like...
I just want to pick
so
like
many
one
ways.
direction. I want to get a, like...
I mean, you can, obviously in that space, like there's door knockers, which, you know, there's huge people who do that. You can do, you know, you could do PPC if you want to do that. I prefer interruption-based advertising in general to PPC. The
So
pros
Meta?
and...
Would you do Meta then?
So Meta, YouTube, TikTok,
Okay.
whatever. I'll just give you the quick pros and cons. And so PPC, the pros of PPC are that you don't have to have very much creative. Once you get a high converting ad that works on search, then you just let it run, because it can be the same ad because you have new eyeballs based on intent that search every single month for whatever that solution is. Mm-hmm. But you compete against every other person who's also paying for those terms. So it really comes down to an LTV battle of who can spend more, right, to own those terms. So that's thing one. On the interruption side, the benefit is that typically it's interruption. They didn't get on the internet looking for solar, but your ad was compelling enough, and so you're typically selling in a vacuum, right? And so you have fewer people that are competing for that specific lead, and you can get them for cheaper. The downside is that you have to recycle creative and make new creative on a very regular basis, and depending on the size of the market, like if you're in a local market, you have to make new creative every 3 weeks. If you're national, you can get away with sometimes every 6 weeks, sometimes every 8. And so those are kind of like the pros and cons. Both work, and at scale, you probably would use both. But if you're like, okay, what do I start with? I typically reverse this to your skill set, which is which of these things do you have the smallest skill deficiency in? And then I would just do that. But like outbound works, PPC and Facebook ads or YouTube ads like pre-roll, those both work. They're different types of audiences that you're going after. They're both paid ads. Content probably wouldn't be the strategy that I would use. I think having a little bit in there just to look like you have a pulse helps conversion overall through the funnel. And so, by the way, for anybody who doesn't make content, like just post once a week on the 1 or 2 platforms that you advertise on. It will make you more money. You won't be able to directly tie it, but people tend to consume some stuff a little bit before they make a purchase.
So if I have a strategic advantage in my LTV is higher than my competitors, then you would probably lean into PPC. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. If you really can outspend everyone, then that'll be the simplest. Because then all you have to do is just look at the keywords. And there's tons of tools online that just like, you can look at your competitors' keywords, you can find their ads, and then you can model the ads. If you're a business owner and you're not growing as fast as you'd like, I'd like to give you a free gift. So my team and I put together the $100 million scaling roadmap, which is basically 200 hours of us looking over all the portfolio companies we've had and what stages of growth they went through, and more importantly, where they got stuck and how they got past it. And so we broke it into these 10 stages, and we made this little kind of quiz thing where if you put in your business information, it'll tell you where you're at, and the most important part for you, what to do for each of the functions of the business across product, marketing, sales, customer success, recruiting, IT, human resources, and finance. And so no matter what you're struggling with, someone else has already struggled with it and solved it. And so I'd like to give you this thing absolutely free. You can go to acquisition.com/roadmap, plug in your business information, and if you want us to actually help you deconstrain the business and you're trying to scale, we'd love to help you out. On the thank you page, you can just book a call with my team, and we will look at the business, see if we can help, and if we can, we'll invite you out to Vegas, and we'll do this in person live.